Good evening everyone, this is Meeta Kataria welcoming you all to the second part of the class 7 history chapter 1, that is tracing changes through a thousand year. Now before we go ahead, let us revise that what we have done up to the earlier video. We talked about the two types of map. Okay, first map which was made by Al-Idrisi in the year 1154 and the second map which was made by the French cartographer in the year 1720. We compared these two maps and saw that the changes that have come during this 600 time period, that how the maps were made. As I told you that in this chapter we are going to talk about the different changes that have come into the whole 1000 year period, that is from 700 to 1750. After looking into the map, we looked into the changes into the terminology. Historians, they get the knowledge about the history from the different books or manuscripts. Now these manuscripts, the words that they are using, they kept on changing, and we looked it into that with the example of the words Hindustan and the foreigner. I hope you all will remember that. After that, we talk about that what are the sources from where the historians get the information, like coins, inscriptions, architecture, then textual records, and then we discussed in detail about the textual records, that is especially the manuscripts. And we saw that how the manuscripts were copied when there were no printing presses, and what are the problems faced by the historians while they are referring the manuscripts to analyze and devise the information related to the history. Now let us go further and talk about the other changes that have come into this 1000 year time period. Now this was a time period when there was a great mobility of the people from one area to another area, from one country to the other country, and this made a great change and development into the technologies. For example, Persian wheel. You can see in the picture that the wheel that was used for the irrigation was brought from the Middle East into the country. Then there was this invention of the spinning wheel that was also brought to India by some of the other merchants during this time period. And the firearms. The firearms, that means you can see the cannons that were used into the battles. This way, not only the technological changes happened in India, but there were the changes related to the food and the crops also. The foods like potato, corn, chili, coffee, or the beverages like coffee and tea. We never know that how they have come or how we have started using. We always feel that we are using these from the centuries and they are from India only. No, that is not the thing. These things have come to India when the people from the different areas have come to our country and brought along with them, for example, the chilies that were brought by the French into India, the coffee and the tea that was also brought by the British to India, and we people have started using these things. So when there were these many changes into the technology, food and crops, and there were vast number of the changes have happened, which makes the task of the historians to study about the history of this period very challenging. As I already told you about that, this was a time period of the great mobility, and with the changes into the technology and food crops, there were many other changes seen into the society in different aspects like social, political, economic, and political. So many new changes, many new social and political groups that were formed during this time period. Some were from the Indian subcontinent only, and many of them have come from the other countries only, because this was a time period when the Indian subcontinent was flourishing. Many new opportunities were being available for the people, those who want to have the good fortune, and as India was the place of the immense wealth. So one of such kind of the groups that they, gained importance during this time period were the Rajputs. The word Rajputs is the literal meaning of the word Rajput is the Rajputra. That means the son of the ruler. But the meaning of this term changed during the 8th to 14th century, and this was applied to the people, those who became to be known as the warrior Kshatriyas. And they were not only the rulers of the country, but this group also included the rulers, the commanders, and the soldiers that were there into the armies of these rulers, those who were ruling the smaller states of the subcontinent. Apart from that, many other political groups have emerged during this time period and gained the importance were the Marathas, Sikhs, Jats, Ahoms, Kshatriya, Kayasthas. These were the other groups that gained importance during the medieval period. More about this we are going to study into the coming chapters, as I have already told you that this is the introduction chapter of what we are going to study in the 7th class in the history. Apart from that, there was the great change into the society also. What was this change? The forests were cleared for the purpose of making the land available for the agriculture purpose. Now when these forests were cleared, many of the forest dwellers, they started migrating to the different areas and started mingling, or we can say getting more communicated with the general society, and they became the part of this general society and adopted the work of the agriculture and became the peasants. Now these peasants, they were doing the agricultural work. Apart from the agriculture work, in the lean season they were doing many other works also. This was a time period where the society became more diversified. People started having more occupations, different occupations, like being the artisans, rearing the cattle, or working for the ruler in the different way. So this made the society diversified. Earlier the society was only based on the Kshatriyas, Brahmins, and the Shudras and the Vaishyas. But this was a time period as many opportunities were available, so many new diversified groups came into the picture, and these diversified groups, based on their occupation and the background, their background and the occupation that they were doing, came to be known as the jatis. Now these jatis, for example, the people, those who were doing the work of making the furniture, came to be known as the carpenters. Most famously we know them as the word suthar. So Suthars, they have started making the different jati. The Sonis, the group of the people, those who are making the jewelry from the gold, they came to be known as the goldsmiths. So this way, the jatis were found based on the occupation of the people. Now every jati had its own importance at the different place. At one place, one jati may be very powerful, but at the same jati cannot be so much powerful at the other place also. These jatis, they framed their own rules, and these rules were framed by the elders of these jatis, which are known as the Jati Panchayat. But when they are making their own rules, they were not being exceptional to the rules that were made by the Brahminical society. As they all were the Hindus, they have to follow the rules of the Brahminical society, and they have to also follow the rules made by their Jati Panchayat. During this time period, the subcontinent also witnessed the changes into the region and the empire. The subcontinent was divided into the several regions which were ruled by the different dynasties like the Cholas, Tughlaqs, Khaljis, Mughals, etc. Okay, now how this was divided? The whole continent, or we can say Indian subcontinent, was ruled by the small rulers, but there were the other powerful rulers, those who started ruling the larger areas. Now these larger areas were ruled by the powerful dynasties like the Cholas, the Tughlaqs, those who were the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate, or the Mughals, those who ruled over India for more than 500 years. So this continent was divided. How it was divided, we can see from one Prashasti, which was written in Sanskrit about Ghiyasuddin Balban, who was one of the Delhi Sultan ruler. It states that he had ruled a vast empire which extended from the Gauda, present day Bengal, to the Ghazni in Afghanistan and to the west, including all of the South India, which was also called as the Dravida. This was such a vast empire, almost the Indian subcontinent, present day India, then Pakistan, Afghanistan, we can say, and Bangladesh also, was ruled by one single ruler only, that is Ghiyasuddin Balban. People in the Prashasti, it is also mentioned that the people of the Gujarat, Karnataka, Bengal, Maharashtra, they fled when there were the armies of the Ghiyasuddin Balban invading these areas. So this shows that some of the rulers were very powerful, which made the different changes. Now the changes that they have brought into the subcontinent came to be known as the pan-regional empire. Now what is this pan-regional empire means? By the 7th century, small regions, they have already developed their own distinctive language and their distinctive culture and tradition that they were following. But when they were invaded by the powerful rulers and were made a part of the bigger empire, then what happened? These regions, they not only possessed their own distinctive culture, but their culture was also having the impact of these vast empires. For example, we can say that when it was the Bengal, or we can say at that time it was Gauda. So it had its own language, it was having its own culture. But when Mughals started ruling that, so the impact of the Mughal culture and the religion Islam has left its imprints on the culture of Bengal. That means it said that these regions, they felt the impact of the larger empire, but they did not lose their distinctiveness. Now, let us go through the religion. When we are talking about the changes, we are going to talk about every aspect of the change that have come into the culture, society and religion also in the Indian subcontinent. Religion was not also left behind with the impact of the passing time and coming up of the new rulers and new political situations. Now, with the change into the social and political fields, people belief also was changed. Now, what is this people belief? People belief is divided into two different ideas, we can say. One is that personal belief. That means what a person believes, and another one about the superpower, or we can say the sovereignty of the God. That is collectively what people are believing, which we call in the general terms as the religion. Now, religion, when we talk about the religion, we know that Hinduism has been oldest of the religion, but what we follow present day is the result of what changes have come into the Hinduism during this medieval period also. What are these changes? The most important, that the idea of bhakti was introduced into this time period. What is this idea of bhakti? You have already studied in 6th standard, but let us revise that. It tells about the connection, or we can say the personal love towards the God without the interference of any other person like the Brahmin or the priest. Not only that, people have there was the emergence of the new deities during this time period. People started worshipping the new deities or the new gods that they have felt that they are important in their lives, or construction of temples, which we are going to talk about in more detail in the chapter 2. Then there were the rise in the idea of bhakti. Not only this, but the religion in India also saw a major change, that was coming up of the Islam to India. Now, this has come with the when the merchants from the Middle East countries, they brought the teachings of Quran to India. What is Quran? Quran is the holy book of Islam, and the merchants, those who have come from their Middle East countries, when they have come to Indian subcontinent, they brought the teachings of this. And after that, the invasion of the Delhi Sultans and coming up of the Mughals, they not only brought the teaching, but they also brought the religion along with them. What is Islam? In Islam, people believe the sovereignty of the one God, that is Allah, and they believe that that is the most supreme power of the people, and whomsoever believes in Allah, Allah will shower his blessings and the bounty over them. Talk more about the Islam was divided into the two sects or into the two parts, that is Shia and Sunni. Now the Muslims, when they are divided into two parts, one part, that is the Shias, they believe that the Muhammad Ali's son, the Prophet Muhammad's son-in-law Ali is the legitimate leader and one should follow him. And the other people believed that these, they were called as the Sunnis, they accepted that the Khalifas are the legitimate leaders and we should follow what Khalifas are saying. More about the religion and the idea of Bhakti and emergence of Islam related to that, we are going to talk about in the 8th chapter of this class. Now, this chapter, when we have talked about the 1000 year or the time period or the time, what is time? Do you think that time is passing of the hour or the minutes on the clock, or it is the passing of the days into the calendar? Yes, of course it is. But according to the historian, the time reflects social, economic, political and cultural changes. The historians do not believe that passing of 1 hour, passing of 1 day, and they are going to write about or give the information about them. No. For them, the time, when they are talking about the time, it is the time period where the many changes have come into the economic, social and political and cultural aspects. Let us take the example of the time period with the India only, that the Indian history is divided into three periods, and that is Hindu, Muslim and the British. This division was made by the British historians into the 19th century, where they said that they have divided first period into the Hindu, where most of the rulers were Hindus, and the second phase, that was the Muslim rulers like Delhi Sultans and Mughals have come to India. So that period was divided to study about the history of India, complete whole period. And then the British, when the British have arrived, and all that period is considered as a separate or the different time period, because the changes were different. The situations into the culture, political and economic aspects were very different from that. This way, the history is divided into three different parts by the British. And the last, what I would say that the 700, the year from 700 to 1750, these 1000 years faced the considerable changes. A lot of changes into each and every aspect of the Indian society. Take it political, cultural, economic, or the social, related to each and every aspect, architecture, religion, technology. These all aspects have changed to a great extent into this 1000 year period. That is all we are going to study about in detail in each and every chapter, one by one, in this class. At the end, I would conclude that saying this, many regions in this time period flourished enormously in India, and that is what attracted the European countries, European companies to India, and started the new phase of the Indian history. Thank you. I hope you all would have understood. Goodbye everyone. Stay home, stay safe.